See here, I know the same problems that you see there. And the truth is that what people complain about here is times 10 over there. The crime rates abroad, in America, in the UK, is way... See, America is just Nigeria that has gone to Harvard. That's just
He's packaged.
Better PR.
Yeah.
Better PR. Nigeria, we don't have a good PR. And Nigerians don't even believe in the country. Everywhere there's bad leadership. Everywhere there's bad leadership. You can't... If you go and speak to Americans, many people don't like their presidents the way some people don't like their president here. If you go now, people who voted Labour in the UK, now they don't want Labour again. So it's always going to, but as much as people want to think that the government are the ones who create a enabling environment, the government are the ones who create, if you keep thinking that way, you're really not going to do anything.
Going to America and leaving. And I really want to go into this point because a lot of people who watch this podcast are living in the U.S. right now in this era. I don't know what year people will be watching this. I think this will be a evergreen interview. And they want to leave, but they feel stuck, right? They want to come back to Nigeria. There's lots of people in Nigeria that are like, I want to go to America, right? So I want you to talk about really that decision to, not to go to where everybody is looking for. Every day the embassy has interviews. Every day people are like, how can I get an American visa? How can I leave? So how did you were there, you had a visa, you almost had a wife set up, right? Where you would get a green card. Everything was on a platter. All you had to do was take it. So what made you leave all of that and bet on Nigeria?
So the truth is that, funny enough, we're still discussing this in the office yesterday. The center point of my discussion in the office yesterday. The truth is that there's nobody in Nigeria right now that you will tell not to travel abroad and they will listen. They will never listen. Yes. They want to see it for themselves. In fact, they have the first 3-month pictures they want to take and post on social media. They already have it. They already have it in a mood board somewhere. They will never listen. They will never listen. In fact, I did a lot of proof of fund for a lot of people who moved to the UK, and all of them are regretting it right now. I called one of my friends and it was like, he made the biggest mistake of his life moving. But also what happens is that, sometimes where people don't, we're thinking about what other people will say and not looking out necessarily for what works for us. So we're thinking, I've sold everything, I've moved here. What will people say if I move back? So let me keep at it. My driver in the UK driving me to the airport on Saturday, and he said to me, I've been here for 25 years and I really want to move back.
Let me just throw this question. To Japa or not to Japa, would you Japa if you have the opportunity? Not presently, would you want to Japa?
Presently, I'll skate on 50-50 because if you're looking at the amount you want to use to Japa now I'm good here.
So the finances, is that what's holding, is that like the reason why, is that the reason you will want to Japa?
Yes, so.
Just the finances?
Yeah, because if I have that money here, I think I'm good here. Nigerians actually, like the man said, most of the people actually travel are not patriotic Nigerians. They just want to travel. They just want to Japa the fact that, my friend is going with the aimless idea of, I just want to travel and me too, I want to. And like he said, not everything is green on the other side, like people perceive it to be. And most of them, like he said, they have the pictures they want to take in the first 3 months. And everything boils down to, because it boils down to money. So, they tell you, once you get over there, the first 3 months, you're making so and so, you can actually, most of them, that's what they'll tell you. Like, I'm traveling now in the first month, I'm making so and so, that's why I want to travel.
But that's not the way it happens. But that's not the way it happens. They don't make that much money. And the funny thing is, like, I like what he said, if you're going to travel, you're going to Japa, I think you should have you should sit down with yourself.
Have a concrete reason.
And have concrete reasons. Have a conversation with yourself while you're Japaing. You're not going to Japa because your friend Japa. Yeah. Because it's not always going to be rosy. Your friend might have a backup plan over there. Yeah. And then if this doesn't work in the next 2-3 months, I might rely on this. Many people Japa using education to Japa. Now, when you're done with school, what's next?
We've seen situations where people would sell everything they have over here just to travel out, and eventually they get there. It's not as green as they told them
as expected,
and they end up regretting, and most of the time they end up getting depressed, and they end up getting deported back to after selling millions of
what they have. There's
property,
something it said, and I really when it said, I really picked that, was like the crime rate abroad is higher than the crime rate in Nigeria, and it's not a lie. Those places, and like I said, those places just have better PR than we do. In Nigeria, we don't have PR. No, we don't have PR. Those places have better PR. I don't think it's easy. It's in Nigeria. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I don't think it's that easy for someone to just pick up a gun in Nigeria and start shooting.
It's not where.
I don't think it's easy for someone to just take a knife at the bus stop and then just stab someone. It's not easy. I don't think it's that easy for someone to just walk into a school and start shooting sporadically, and then people are dead. So the crime rate in Nigeria is quite low. Those people just have better PR than we do. They just have a way to, spice up the things, and then you're just sitting there and you're looking like, that place seems better. Now, I'm not saying Nigeria is better in other places. When it comes to, like we just talked about technological advancements now. When it comes to those places, when it comes to the economy, the economy too, the economy has the backside. The economy has the backside. It might not be stable, but again, it still relies on good PR. It still relies on things, to cushion the effect of the economical challenges they face. Nigeria, we might not have that, and that's why people feel like the economy is bad and we need to leave.
Like you just said now, it's a thing of you going over there with the mentality of I want to travel, and eventually you get there, and it's not as rosy as you see it to be. And what do you want to do? You can't come on, you just have to live with it. You just have to pretend like you're happy. That's because
you have to endure.
Yeah, that's because we've not today, not this year. We've done things on this show. We've seen videos of people coming out to start shedding tears, saying they have to wake up so and so time. The weather out there is very cold. They wish they were still here in Nigeria, and the work environment is actually very tough, even if they're getting the money. And it's more of actually you going there and you have to work your ass out and just to make ends meet. And because basically, if you're not doing anything, you won't get paid for anything. So basically, you have to work, and most of the time, they just come out and tell you what they want you to hear and what they want you to see. They won't tell you what they're actually going through.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, working abroad is there's no place like home. Yeah. You can't feel as comfortable as you feel at home. You don't have as much opportunities as you have in your homeland. Yeah. In your homeland, you can always fight for opportunities. Yeah. You can always demand for opportunities. You can always say, I need this, I deserve this. But that's a foreign land. You do not have much. You don't have much.
You just have to go with the rhythm over there.
Even if you've been naturalized, you don't really have much say as much as your homeland, where you were born, where you grew up, where you have come. And this is not ruling out the fact that if you want to Japa, but nobody's saying you should not Japa if you want to Japa. If it works for you, very well, good. If it doesn't work for you, and that's why we say sit down, have a rethink about it, have conversations with people that have traveled to see if it's a good terrain for you. Migrating is not a bad thing. You could decide to migrate, but are you migrating for good reasons?
We've seen videos online about people who just migrate to other countries and eventually they turn to street beggars and
we see them. We see that a lot.
People are making videos telling them, if you know this person, come to this person's aid. And in the video, they are saying they want to go back to their country. And I'm like, at first you wanted to go there by all means, and now you're there, and things didn't actually work.
And many people
we've seen situations where people would obviously go. From the airports, they're literally sleeping on the roadsides, and things are not actually.
And many people are not talking about the mental aspect of migration. You're starting a new life. No friends, no close pals around. Even though you might think that you've always known there, they go to work.
Everybody's minding their business.
They're working 14-hour shifts, so nobody has the time. Nobody's coming to luxury of time to sit and gist. And in Nigeria, you can gist. You can say after work, I want to visit.
You want to chill somewhere.
Now, in Nigeria, you can actually close a bit earlier and know that, well, I want to take an excuse to go out. Yeah. But then if you're taking an excuse, you're going to affect your income. Don't forget the per hours. So you need to sit down and think about the situation before saying, I want to Japa.
Like that man said, he said people he has actually helped travel out, and they've called him to tell him they actually regret it. So it speaks volume. It's just the whole situation of the country that is actually...
And I think if they're going to regret it, let's be very honest and real. If anybody's going to... If you're working, if anybody is going to regret it, people are just going to regret the mental aspect, where they don't have friendship, they don't have... No, they're not going to regret it financially.
I mean, but on the other side, financially, they're doing
they're doing very well. You're working working and you're getting money.
Yeah.
And if you're a Nigerian, what I mean by Nigerian, you're very good at converting.
Yeah.
You collect your salary and you're converting to what it is in Naira. And then you know that, I'm making good money here. You're making money, but as much as you're making money, you're also spending because you need to pay for rent.
Like you pay for everything over there.
Yeah, you need to pay for rent, you need to pay for electricity, you need to pay for gas,
you
need
water.
to pay for meal, you need to pay for everything. So you're spending as much as you're earning, but then you're earning, and it's a good story. But now having this familiar relationship,
and it's more,
you do not have it. Everybody were all busy.
From what I've heard, it's more of over here that we pay rent yearly. I think over there is monthly. So
some even weekly.
So that's a lot, and you have to work your ass out just to try and meet up with whatever you're doing over there.
People that are going to Japa, you really need to sit and think about it. But nobody's saying you shouldn't Japa, but if it works for you,
fine.
The crux of this conversation is have honest conversation with yourself, have honest conversation with people abroad, and see if it's something that's going to work for you. People are running mad.
And it's
we need to go
one thing we don't understand is most of these people, they go there with so many promises. Like, don't worry, you're coming over, so many, I'll make provisions for you, and eventually they get there and they are left with, oh my God. So, and that obviously that's where the depression will come in.
We need to leave Dio. It's a conversation we'll have some other time, and probably with people that have had such experiences. D, time to leave.
Yeah, we have to. And this is me saying, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next weekend.
See, we're going to see him next weekend on his birthday. We hope he shows up, too. Well, that's so much we can take on Breakfast in Bed. I am Bababumi Agbibi. Do have a fabulous weekend.
That the morning fantastic. See you with plan, put it on your tongue, then flip it up like gymnastics.